Hey guys, good morning. How's everybody doing? Hey Colleen, Steve, Janet,
Hey
Lisa,
there.
Annie. Hi, Eva's here. So why doesn't everybody just say where they're from? Colleen, I'm gonna go right to you this morning. Whoops, you're mute. You're muted. We can't hear you. Okay, it's not working. Can you hear us? Perfect. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to stop the recording and I'm going to start it over again because otherwise, then we have all the stuff. Hold on. Pause. Okay, good morning. Wake up Wednesday. Who would like to jump in and say where they're from? We're so excited about today.
Good
Steve
morning.
from Arizona.
Hey, Steve, how's it going? I hear you and Annie are cooking up a lot of good stuff in Arizona.
I don't know, but it's a lot more enjoyable doing this than what it was before.
She said she found a great running partner, so we're glad you're here. And I understand you got to meet Lisa.
Yeah.
I sure did, and it was a pleasure. I'm sorry for Annie though. I'm dragging her down.
I don't think so. I don't think so at all. I think you're doing good. So who else? Carlene,
Hi, I'm from Cape Coral, which you
my
know.
backyard, but I'm not there. I'm in Connecticut right now. So fantastic. Did you have a good week?
I did. I had a they call it attraction. I have a, very good friend who was a client of mine when I owned the spa, and she's been a
Hmm.
realtor for over 10 years in Cape Coral. And I model with her at for the shows for the boutique, which we have one tonight. And we had lunch a couple of weeks ago and kind of were just talking a little bit about EXP. And she reached out to me last week. Her very sad, her broker died.
Oh,
And
gosh.
yeah, and she had like it was a boutique brokerage. She had a little bit of ownership in it, and she's kind of in a mess. But we met yesterday with Josie, and I've got goosebumps. She's going to come on board with several agents. Yeah, right here in Cape Coral. She's going to form a team.
Oh my gosh, I'm so
So
excited for you.
I'm so excited. I have a leadership background and haven't really wanted to do a team because my head's going in a million different directions.
Right.
And I think I'm meant to kind of be here and guide them through this process somehow. I don't know. So I'm excited. I'm really excited.
Well, leverage me for whatever you can. We're
Oh,
neighbors, so when
I
I'm back there,
will.
I would love
I
to meet them.
will.
That's great.
Right.
But also, I want you to share with the text that you sent me a week ago about your
Oh,
business page.
yes, 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 yes. So I created a site on Lovable for I owned the URL capecorallistingagent.com, and we were in this session last week, and what he was talking about was creating you send a text message and they were going to create these sites for you and put the content on it, and he put up an audit page, and I audited my site, and I was surprised that I was at 55 compared to some other people who were much lower. And I didn't really even know what I was doing when I vibe coded it. So I spent a little bit of time that afternoon, and I got that site up to 100
And
just by taking that page, loading it back into um, I actually loaded it back in Lovable and I said, fix this. And I had to do it about 4 or 5 times as because it kept climbing up. It didn't fix everything all at once. But that got me so excited. And so now I'm just 3 times a week, I'm going to just update my content or my blogs on there. And I have another site, more of like a sort of like there, he said have the two, and I have the other one. So now
Mhm.
I'm transitioning that site over to Lovable as well. That's Living Well in Southwest Florida. And that's combining my wellness with my real estate. So it's Living Well Now which is
Mhm.
all of the wellness stuff, keeping yourself healthy in Southwest Florida, and Living Well Forward, which is going to contain all of I've been sort of trying to niche into the senior market. That's going to contain my Living Well Forward planning session, Living Well Forward assessment. So I'm really trying to work things very differently than everybody else because we've got a very competitive market here, and
Mhm.
I can't afford to give up, and I can't afford to not be highly successful. So it's happening despite everything and everybody around me who's putting pressure on me to make more
That's
money.
out. So
So it's
congratulations.
happening.
So
It's
that was from
happening.
Nick Krem last week.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna let you in on a secret. We're bringing Nick to Southwest Florida in August. So it's going to be a huge event. Very, very excited to be doing that. And I'll tell you a little bit later, but well, I guess I'll tell you now. I am the I guess, co-executive chairperson for EXP Senior Network. So it is being announced next week. And Lisa is involved with that with me, and Eva is involved. Sarah Gibson's involved. We're going to get Annie involved. Yeah, thanks, Andrew. I'm very, very nervous. I was interviewed for a board of directors position, and next thing I know, she said, "No, I don't think the board of directors is going to work out. Would you like to be executive vice chair?" And I was like, "What? Are you kidding me?" So this is how this is all happening. This is how I've now met Gracie, and Andrew's on the call. And yeah, I'm going to be doing a lot with seniors. So
Oh,
super
wow.
excited.
I
Very,
feel
very
like I'm in
excited.
the right place.
You are. So, anyways, so excited to have everybody here. And, like you said, it's a God thing. People show up in your life. You never know where the next person is going to be. And that one decision, the one decision that you make is just your one thing about changing your whole life. So I'm super excited to talk to Gracie. Hi, Gracie. Want to unmute yourself? And I want to say thank you for coming on at last minute. There was a little bit of a scheduling glitch, and I love it. You stepped up to the plate, and you are chairperson for young professionals. Do I have that right?
That's correct. Yes, I am the
Okay.
chair.
And I see you got your cohort on here. Andrew's on too, which is wonderful. But before you brag on yourself, I'm going to admit I have not paid attention to all the different networks that we have at EXP. And I think this is just bam. I mean, young professionals, seniors, we're changing the name, just wink, wink, letting you know that. But there's so many other things that we are doing as a company and stepping up and volunteering for. So, Gracie, you were on stage at EXPCon. I bow down to you. That's on my vision board to be able to do that. So, jump in, brag about yourself because you're a producing agent, a top producing agent. You run teams. Welcome to Wake Up Wednesday, our 4-year anniversary month. So super excited to have you on.
I'm so excited to be here, and I'm so grateful for it. Wake Up Wednesday, I just love the concept. I love the idea. I love the mission that you're driving here. And congratulations on rising to co-chair of the Seniors Network to be named soon. That's
Getting hot
exciting.
here. So I'm excited about that, and I'm going to learn from your leadership. So tell us about you. Who is Gracie, and what do you do?
So, as chair of EXP Young Professionals, I lead a 105-person leadership team. That's across 32 states and 5 countries. Andrew's on this call. He will tell you it's come with its challenges, but we were so ready when we rose to our board seats to scale. We were ready to build the organization. We were ready for the next level. And I'm really proud of the work we've done to achieve that. So we took it from 7,000 members to 20,000 members in about 5 months, making us the largest young professionals organization of any brokerage in the world.
Okay, so this is huge, guys. Because people say, hey, you're a cloud-based company, you don't have culture. Yeah. So you're telling me in EXP, you guys have 20,000 members of YPN?
That's correct.
Is there any brokerage that's even close to that membership?
I think the next closest is Keller Williams, and I think they have around 7,000.
That is amazing. So tell us about what YPN is. And isn't YPN also a national organization? Or is it
Yes.
just explain that for us?
So EXP Young Professionals specifically exists within EXP. It is, while we have resources that are open to outside agents and outside vendors, my Great Dane is about to try and join the call.
That's okay.
While we have resources available for outside folks, it's primarily aimed at creating a strong culture for young EXP agents. And we define young as young in age, young at heart, or young in business.
Love it.
Starting as a new agent, whether you're coming from another career or, it's post-retirement plans. We wanted to create a space that enabled people to grow together.
Okay.
So
Love
with
it.
that cloud-based brokerage, you nailed it a minute ago. People will say there's no culture. People will say, they'll object to EXP because there's no office, there's no community. And so, like the Seniors Network, our biggest focus is driving that community and creating opportunities and creating collaborations. I really love to refer to YP as a leadership pipeline. There are 4 leaders within EXP Young Professionals that have gone on to become chairs of other resource groups.
Okay.
So that's something we're very proud of.
I want to get into that, but first, brag on you. Let's go back to who Gracie is. Tell us about your career, what you do, your team. This is it. Write your billboard for me.
Brag on myself. All right. I'm 23 years old. I got started in real estate 4 years ago at 19. I got into real estate because someone told me I shouldn't. And unfortunately, there is no better way to get me to do something than to tell me I can't. So I got in at 19. I became an associate broker at 21. I wanted to become, at least for a minute, the youngest broker in the state of Alabama, and I think I achieved that. I applied to Harvard as a joke because I realized I was having a challenge with rejection sensitivity, and you've got to be able to overcome rejection as a real estate agent. That might be one of the most important skills, is that mental toughness. And so I decided to pursue some rejection sensitivity training. And one of those things was applying to Harvard. So that's my background. Running EXP Young Professionals, I've been with YP for 3 years now. Maybe a little more. Gosh, is it more than that? And I became chair last year. I was near unanimously elected, which was so exciting and such an honor. We've got Andrew Maloney on the call, Mr. Cincinnati, who has just been such a fantastic contributor to what we do at YP. So I think that's the headlines.
So tell me about your team and your real estate business.
So as a real estate broker, I'm a solo agent.
Okay.
I have worked in every area of real estate. I really, especially when I got in at the beginning, I really wanted to try it all. So at 19, I was on this sprint to do residential, commercial, and land in the first year, and I was able to do that, which was something I was super grateful for. So today, I have certainly niched down. I like the residential market. I found that commercial and land weren't necessarily what I wanted to be. I love the process of a residential transaction. Now, I know some people will pick one niche and they'll stay there, and I really respect that. I personally have to try it all. I have to do it all. So I'm big on implementing systems and processes, and that's how I'm able to work with reload clients and my first-time home buyers and my people that are elderly and downsizing, and my investors, whether it's a hedge fund or a single a single person. It's
Mhm.
the guy next door that wants to invest in real estate, wants to build generational wealth for his family. Um, so I've kind of been really dedicated to being tactical about the way that I approach real estate business, um, so that I can serve in residential real estate at the highest level.
Guys, tactical, strategic. Are you listening to the words that this 23-year-old woman is saying? We have a leader here that is in our community that we are so lucky. I would give anything at my age to have the systems and to be organized like you. I've been doing a lifetime and I haven't accomplished what you've accomplished at, I want to say 23, but I don't know about that, but it's pretty cool. So how many deals? Talk about your business. And you are where?
So,
Let everybody know where you are, please. You're in Alabama.
um, oh, so yes, I'm in the Birmingham, Alabama market.
Okay.
It's funny, getting in 2022 was like drinking from a fire hose. People kept telling me, like, this is such an unusual market. And I didn't know what a usual market looked like. And so I
Right.
was like, "Look, this is it. This is usual." I would tell you that as far as my business, I am always, and this is the one thing that real estate agents struggle with. I am always prospecting. I'm always looking for my next deal. I would say the majority of my business is rooted in agent to agent referrals, which I get through YP. And if you're considering joining Peggy's Seniors Network, again, to be renamed, I think that's one of the biggest benefits you'll find about all of the resource groups within 1EXP. There's 16 now. Um, all of that to say, a large portion of my business comes from YP, 1EXP, and agent to agent referrals.
That is amazing. And I believe that's getting in the right rooms. Wouldn't you agree, everybody? Look at what we have all been introduced to because we show up at events. So you spoke at EXPCon. Tell us about what did you talk about? And how did you feel about getting on stage?
So I spoke twice at EXPCon last year. Of course, I did a breakout room, and I think you're referring to my appearance on main stage.
I am. That's pretty cool.
So we were talking about this. We were talking about YP. We were talking about the power of community, the power of 1EXP. Was I nervous? Oh my gosh, I was terrified. 5,000 people. Um, and
Hmm.
I was lucky enough to get kind of an outline of the panel beforehand. So I
Hmm.
knew about what to expect. And leading up to it, people were asking me, are you nervous? Are you excited? How are you feeling? I think I was most worried about what was I going to say. And the night before, I was like pacing around in my hotel room because I was like, I still haven't fine-tuned this yet.
Yeah.
But I went to sleep, and when I woke up the next morning, it was like clarity and calmness had just hit me. Because talking about YP, talking about the way it's empowered me and my career, well, that's the easiest story I'll ever tell. And so I think, leading up to it, it was terrifying. And then the day of, I was like, you know what? I've got this.
I know that feeling. I was honored to speak at Build at Sea last year, and I was doing the same thing. I was pacing, I was nervous. I've spoken before. There were only 120 people, but you want to show up giving your best, right? You want to just give it 250%. My godson was actually on the cruise with me, and he thought I was going to pass out. I mean, I'm pacing, it's right before. And I went up to Brent Gove and he looked at me and I said, would you just pray with me? And we went over to a corner and he prayed with me, or he prayed. I shook and cried. Let's be real. And all of a sudden, this calmness just came over me. It was one of the most beautiful experiences that I've ever had. So, and everything was okay, right? Because we judge ourselves. We're so much harder on ourselves And when we show up and we're our authentic self, and we're going to talk about what we believe in and the passion that we have, it's just like calm waters. Would you agree? Is that how you kind of felt afterwards, right when you got up on stage finally? Or were you
Yes.
still nervous?
I wasn't. I wish I could tell you that I was like, there was this big fear that I overcame, but like when I woke up, all of that was handled. All of that was put aside. Going onto stage, I was like, you know what? Like, I'm going to have so much fun with this. And all of my co-panelists were dear friends of mine,
Okay.
colleagues that I really respect and admire. And I couldn't have asked, for a better group, for a better opportunity to take that stage.
Have you done your inhaler?
Oops, Janet, we're going to mute you. There you go. Okay, go ahead.
I couldn't have asked for a better way to dive into it for the very first time. Honestly, Peggy, if they had just invited me backstage, I could have survived. I could have been happy with just the experience of being backstage with the other speakers. I was getting mic'd up and I look over and Glenn Sanford is sitting at a table 10 feet away from me, just working away on his laptop. They put me in the hair and makeup booth right next to Veronica Figueroa. And it was like, I met a dear friend of mine, Michelle Martin, backstage. We had never met before, but she got off stage as I was getting on and we got to chat for a minute. It was genuinely worth the entire experience just to have been backstage beforehand.
I love it. I absolutely love it. And again, it's the rooms. It's getting in proximity to everybody. So let's bring Andrew on. Hello, Andrew. How are you?
Good. How are you guys?
Doing good. So I want you guys to talk about what exactly you do and how you have gone from 7,000 members to 20,000 members. And I'm assuming, just like with my group that I'm going to be involved with, and I hope to grow like you, there's no age limit. So talk about what you do and why it's important and community.
Well, you guys have heard from our incredible leader, so that's part of the reason. I mean, we're a great team, but having Gracie at the helm has really helped motivate all of us. I'm an elder millennial, as some would say, so I'm old for a technical young professional. I'll be 37 next week. I
Happy
know.
early birthday.
Thank you. Yeah, so I'm 37. But
What's the
yeah,
age range for young professionals?
I think it's till 40 technically, like how they technically define young professionals. But like Gracie said, we have people who we like to say young at heart. We have people in their 50s, we have people in their 60s, we have people who are 18, 19. It just ranges. And I think the thing that's really helped is Gracie has kind of instilled in the board of directors as well as all of the members and state leaders this sense of collaboration. And I think that's something that a lot of other brokerages don't offer to have that collaboration aspect. We have engagement groups on Instagram where we send each other posts and we comment on each other's posts on Instagram to hype it through the algorithm. We have a WhatsApp group where we connect and talk about everything with best practices. I have like if you have an issue in your market, you can put it in there and people will answer. There's just a lot of communication, a lot of camaraderie and collaboration. And I think that's really elevated the experience for a lot of our agents, not just in the States, but worldwide. We have agents in South Africa, Princess, who is incredible and is rocking the boat and being a disruptor in South Africa. So there are just incredible agents all around the world who are really enjoying this collaborative environment that Gracie has helped instilled in all of us here at YP.
I love it. And the reason I'm so excited about this is because, we're all talking to different agents, different ages, different genres. Annie just brought someone on who is how old? In their 30s, Annie?
Ashley, how old are you? She's
Oh,
on right
Ashley's on the
now.
call. Oh
Yeah,
my God,
she's
I
on
don't
the
want to
call.
embarrass her. She's brand new to EXP, and here I am asking her age. I didn't realize that. So, but we
I'm
want
35.
Hi, Ashley. Welcome to Wake
Hi.
Up Wednesday and welcome to EXP.
Thank you.
I hear you're a rock star.
If that's what Anne says, I don't know if I would call myself that, but
Well, that's what Annie says, so I'm going to go with that. What I'm excited about is we all are talking to agents all the time. There's always someone, a co-broke of any age on the other side. How cool to get Gracie or Andrew on a call with a young professional talking about how they can plug in, how we've got community. Third party calls are amazing. And I think that's one of the things that the collaboration that we all have, the caring, the giving, the sharing, that's huge, guys. And when you look at, I was thinking about this and I've been talking a lot about it because I have to pinch myself. 4 years, over 200 episodes. We've been doing this, by the way. It's all on YouTube. Annie's going to put the link on so you can subscribe. Think of the connections that you have. Think of the people that have shown up to help you, to pour into you, that you absolutely at any time can go tap on on their shoulder and leverage them. Are you finding, are you using that? Are you lifting everybody up? Gracie, you're talking about referrals, right?
Oh,
How
yeah,
you
for
get,
sure.
do you have a new referral network here of people? Did you just increase your referral network? I think so.
Absolutely.
So, what are you guys doing to grow your business, not just in units, volume, that type of thing? What are you doing to grow your business on a cultural standpoint?
Oh, I love
Anybody?
that question.
Well, thank you. Sometimes I come up with a good one.
What are we doing to grow our businesses on a cultural level? First of all, I need Andrew to introduce me everywhere for the rest of my life because what a kind thing, what a kind description. Collaboration, I would say, is one of the things we're most proud of at YP. And that looks like more than just having a conversation. That's we open up our playbooks. If one of our young agents wants my listing presentation, you can take it. If you want my pitch for referral, when I'm trying to win a referral from an agent, you can take it. If you want, their intake forms, if you want their social media strategy, if you want their AI prompts, we share those things openly without expectation of, reciprocity or anything like that. We just do it because that is the culture of YP, and we want that culture to be reflected in our businesses.
It's got to be the culture that's reflected in this entire company. Because I truly believe if we didn't have the foundation for the culture that Glenn built and Gene came on and all the other leaders that have gone through this, our solid foundation continues to grow and get stronger. Tucker, you're going to join my senior network. But think about this, Tucker, you've been around forever, and so have I. I'm celebrating 42 years of getting my real estate license next month. It's a long time. Tucker, you're 50? 50 years
50
over.
years.
Oh my God, you always get me beat. I love that.
No, I don't.
But Tucker, think about this. What do you see different? Why are you staying in this business? What are you seeing with culture and what we're creating? Because you and I have been to every company out there. I mean, I joke that I was in the same office for 20 years and had like 15 different companies because it just kept getting sold. You know, we've
Well,
seen it
Peggy,
all.
this is the first real estate company I've ever been associated with.
Oh, tell us about that.
I was my own broker for 40 years.
Huge.
When I got my broker's license in Arizona, uh, I was helping my mother out because she was a residential agent and she'd call me with all sorts of commercial problems and I'd help her out. And she said, Tucky boy, do you want to make money giving me advice? And I said, absolutely, Mom. And she said, you need to go get your license. And I said, fine, where? And she said, here's the real estate commission, call them, tell them, see what they need. I gave them
Hmm.
my college transcripts. They didn't need anything else. They said, show up Saturday to take an exam at this location. They said, we suggest you show up to take a test test prep course. And I said,
Hmm.
oh, heck with it. So I showed up, and the lady behind the folding desk said, are you here for the brokers or the agents exam? And I said, what's the difference? She said, $50. And so I said, well, give me the broker's exam. And I passed it, and I've been a broker ever since. But I got into EXP really because I thought that EXP might be the new Amazon of real estate. And if it was, you know, I hit the jackpot. If it wasn't, I could always go back and do what I was doing. And
Exactly.
so the surprising thing, Peggy, was that I have learned more through these events, going to national meetings, travel. You know, I've closed deals in 25 states all over the country, and I continue to do so. And I met a young broker in Nashville that's with EXP, and she and I are working on a 900-acre deal in Austin. I mean, as of
Wow.
this week. Yeah, because I met her at a national event. And
Hmm.
I had no idea the value that the social the social interaction, but not only that, uh, there is a culture, and not everybody is sharing, but
Mm.
90% of the people at EXP share, and they will share, you know, how to get out of a problem, how not to get into a problem, just all sorts of things. And Peggy, that's why I'm here. I want to give
Beautiful.
back, truthfully.
Well, Tucker, you want to give back? I'm knocking on your door to join the senior network.
Oh no, I relate too well to that. I don't want to. I
We'll
don't
talk
want.
about it.
Yeah.
We'll
Okay.
talk. I didn't even know it existed, but we're gonna tap your shoulder. I want to go back to Andrew. So, Andrew, talk, brag on you. Talk about your
Oh.
family, the legacy that you're building, and why it's so important because your mom is pretty influential in this company as well. You've got a great mentor, right, that you grew up with.
Yeah, so my mom's been licensed for about 24 years. And she told me 10 years ago to get licensed. And I was busy with my career. I went to school for theater. I did theater here in Cincinnati and abroad. I did a Ecuadorian premiere of West Side Story in South America, and I've traveled all over doing theater. And then I worked in a restaurant, as one does when you're an actor. And my mom always said, you'd be a great real estate agent, you should get your license. And I just kind of grew in the restaurant business and ended up working for an experiential marketing agency and did experiences for Kroger, Out Upon Airways, Procter and Gamble, all over the country. And then COVID hit, and I got my license 4 days after getting laid off, which was pretty remarkable. Um, but yeah, the legacy that, here with my family, my mom's an agent, my dad's also an agent, and then my youngest brother just got licensed.
Oh, I
So
didn't realize that.
yeah,
Wow.
there's four of us now licensed out of the family. We have a team here in Cincinnati. We cover the entire tri-state. So we do Ohio, Kentucky, and Indiana. And, learning from my mom has been incredible. I think, having that resource of your mom, who's a rock star agent. She's on the Women's Impact Network board of directors as well, was on the national AAC, has just done it all. So it's been a really cool thing to learn from her. And then also carve my own path where I am an independent agent. and show agents that just because my mom's an agent doesn't mean that I get all of my leads from my mom. I have my own book of business and I'm able to fish for myself. So that's been something really awesome and something that One EXP has allowed me to do. Going back to Gracie's resource, you know, getting referrals. I mean, I got a $1.2 million referral from YP. And
What?
yeah, I got the listing. I had got the listing appointment. I won the listing and then ended up finding the buyer as well. So it was just,
That's fantastic.
yeah, it's just that opportunity that without YP and without that network of people, it's not possible. So, talking to my agents here in Cincinnati who think it's very local and think real estate is very hyper local and they get a referral, they have to pay a 50% referral fee to the brokerage. I tell them, oh, I get referrals and relocation just from other agents, and it
Mm-hmm.
it allows me to grow. And I think people are shocked by that.
Mm-hmm. I totally, totally agree with that. And again, the theme here is getting involved, getting in the right rooms. I mean, Tucker just talked about a referral. You're talking about a referral. Gracie's talking about the referrals that she gets. I'm always fascinated, and I use that word kind of tongue in cheek, when I talk to agents and they still are saying to me, and I don't know how many of you get this, well, what's EXP going to do for me? What kind of leads are they going to give me? All this stuff where everyone here is demonstrating how you're not tied to that. I mean, Andrew, I love your mom, Holly. She's been to our Wake Up Wednesday retreat. She is an amazing icon in the industry. And you said you're building your own book of business.
Yeah.
Wow.
But Peggy,
Yes, Tucker.
nothing happens if you don't get involved. You
Mm-hmm.
you have to dip your pinky into the well. You have to you have to attend meetings. Nothing happens by chance. It's
Mm-hmm.
all it's all due to writing down your goals, getting up every morning, uh, making 10 phone calls. This is regardless of AI, this is still a touch business. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I'm I'm picking up leads left and right, and a lot of these, and I'm working with some celebrities, but I've told all of them that I have to talk to them, you know, and everybody wants to text. I don't know if everybody else is getting that, but everybody wants to text today, and too much is lost in translation. You can't possibly relate everything through texting.
Mm-hmm. I think you have to identify your audience and how they want to communicate. Some people want a phone call, some people only want text, some people only want email. So it's individual and I think adaptability. So what else do we need to know on how we can grow? Gracie, what are some other things that you think are important that this group needs to know about?
Oh, that's a good question. I would say get really, really good at the basic things. And I know that's like duh advice, but I found myself really avoiding the basics early on. I don't want to prospect. That's hard. I don't want to, research the market. That's boring. Whatever the thing was that you don't want to do, it's probably something you should be doing. The boring stuff is important. Now, for things like you hate the administrative work. If you're not going to do it, hire it.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not going to do it, hire it because it still has to get done, right? Nobody
Mm-hmm.
wants to spend 25 minutes uploading documents into SkySlope, but it's got to get done. So
Right.
whether that's hiring a transaction coordinator, whether that is just time blocking really well, I would say every agent needs to get really good at the basics. EXP University is offering Fast Cap. It's free to all agents. I'm in the final week of it right now, and it's just been absolutely incredible. It was
So,
designed for
yeah,
younger.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you. Sorry about that. You're in Fast Cap now?
Yes. And it was designed for younger, newer agents. But I, as a, like, even as a 4-year agent, have had such a fantastic time with FastCap because it really requires you to revisit the things you might not have done in the past. If you don't have a Google My Business page, if you don't have a Facebook page, if you aren't collecting reviews, they are really big on helping you rebuild the foundation, strengthen the foundation of your business.
So some of the things that you were talking about, we were calling this, getting back to basics. Talk about the basic things that you are finding successful and tell me what are the top 2 things that are basic that you absolutely can't stand to do, but you do?
So, one of the other people on our board of directors put this really, really well, and I related to it a lot. When you first get in the business, one of the things that mentors or coaches will tell you is you need to call everyone you know and tell them you're a realtor. Now, unfortunately, like he said, we live in a digital age and not everyone wants to pick up the phone and make, 300 phone calls. I certainly did not. But the idea is you need to be having as many conversations as possible. And so, something I learned from another agent in YP, Lauren Hammond, is whatever vehicle you're using to have the conversation, whatever you're going to use, do it. If that's a text message, if that's interacting on social media, Lauren does social media at a really high level. So I would say figure out what method you're willing to use to have lots of conversations and then go have those conversations.
So I'm going to throw this out to the group because I know we talked about our topic being back to basics, the foundation of your business. What are some of the things? How did you build your foundation? What's working for you guys and what's not working for you if you want to jump in? And if not, I'll call on you. Okay, quiet group this morning. Andrew, what's
Social media is working for me.
social media? Okay, tell us more about your social media because I see you all the time.
Yeah, so I don't know who was talking about South Florida earlier, but I actually
Me and
started this
Carlene.
Okay, I started a podcast called Saw It in Cincy about 4 years ago, and I have had everybody on it from Bengals players talking about their foundations to local events. And with my theater background, I like to tell the story. So that's kind of I have 2 separate pages now. I never had a business page. I don't like business pages. I think if people are going to hire me, they're going to hire me for who I am, and the people who already follow me know, like, and trust me. So why would I try to build another page for real estate when I just want to showcase who I am as a person? Because those are the people that are going to be attracted to me. So starting this Cincinnati page has really allowed me to get a lot of relocation business and showcase that nationally how great of a city Cincinnati is. So now I'm getting invited to events. It's also become a residual form of income. I'm working with a local internet provider and I get free internet now because of it. And I have a discount code for my clients to use. So it just kind of works together. So for me, having that foundation of knowing who my niche, knowing who my client is, who I'm talking to on social media, that's the first thing. So I know I want someone who's probably a young professional, single or young family looking to move to an urban core, an urban destination here in Cincinnati. Like that's my ideal client. So that's who I'm speaking to. I'm showcasing soccer bars for the World Cup. I'm showcasing pools for the summer, things to do in the urban core. I'm not going to go to your neighborhood in a subdivision and talk about something because I don't know it and that's not who my client is. So really identifying that has helped me grow.
That's amazing. Do you want to drop it in the chat so we can follow you? I
Yeah,
love it.
yeah, I'll drop it.
Because, again, it's learning from everybody else. Okay, Stacy's driving, but if she can unmute for a minute, she does. We've talked about this before, but it's always a good reminder. Stacy, what are you doing to build the basics, the foundation of your business? And congratulations. I think I just saw you got a really cool listing. If you want to tell everybody about it, maybe you'll get a buyer down there.
I'm just
Whoops.
like,
There we are.
can you hear me? Got it?
Yep,
Okay.
you're good.
I'm posting a lot. I'm doing a lot of videos. I'm focusing on my city, Madisonville, things like that. Let's see. I'm very much involved in my community. I'm volunteering all the time. In fact, every Wednesday morning, I'm going to my local food bank because I volunteer from like 9 to noon every Wednesday. And, you know, it's just creating relationships everywhere I go. And that's just basically it, is meeting as many possible people as you can, and not just saying, oh yeah, I'm a realtor, you know, really having genuine connection with people and learning about them and asking them questions. And not, I don't talk about me, I ask questions about them, and they feel important, you know, and that's it right there.
And
the listing that you're talking about, I'm not
yeah,
sure.
talk about the listing.
What's that?
Did you just get some really cool listing? Did I see that?
I did not myself, but I co-lead Teen Castles Unlimited, and one of my colleagues has this fabulous listing in Fort Lauderdale, Florida for like $20 million or something like that. And it's beautiful, but it's not my actual listing, but I like to, you know,
you shared it,
advertise it. Yeah.
I love
absolutely.
that. You know, I want to just, because I know we're getting close to the top of the hour here in a few minutes. Everything that we're talking about here, as far as Andrew doing the page, talking about his hometown, Gracie building referrals with agents, Stacy volunteering at the food bank, everybody here is doing something, but what's the one common thing? It doesn't cost you a dime. And people are always looking at, oh, I've got to spend this money. I've got to do this. I've got to do that. You're going to go broke doing all of that. So the best advice that I'm going to take away from this call today is look at what you can do without having to spend money. Lisa's shaking her head down there. Yes, we spend money and we go to events, and I'm going to tap you. And if Eva's still on the call, for where you were this past weekend and a couple of nuggets. But what can you do where showing up is a price? Nobody can put a price tag on your personality, on your way of giving, of your servant heart. That is something that we have as gifts, you guys. And that goes to helping other agents. I've talked about this, and it's my biggest soapbox is if I drive by a sign, now I don't see them in Florida, but in Connecticut, where I am right now, there's a lot of pole signs and they hang, and we have, you know, storms and winter and snow plows that knock them down and things like that. Instead of just driving by, I used to have the white clippy things, you know, the kind of things, the zip ties. Get out if you can. Help another agent out. Call them. Let them know their sign is down. You're doing an open house, or you're not even doing an open house. You're driving by. I can't tell you how many times I've pulled over on the side of the road and picked up someone's sign that blew over. I don't need to call them and do that. It just, you know, givers gain. And we are that culture. And I'm just still blown away by the 20,000 people at YPN. I can't wait to get our network up there. But I love everybody is contributing here today at basically a no cost. And Gracie, you said you'll give all your, you know, whatever you need. Everybody will give their listing presentations away. I've had people say that they'll share their VA. You know, we have a great community, and I'm just so proud to be a part of that. Lisa, talk about community. You went to a Brent Gove event. You leveraged that, and you got to meet Annie in Scottsdale because
I
you were
did.
there.
And Steve.
And
And
Steve.
oh, that's right. And Steve got to go to that too. And Misty's not on the call, but I hear she was there. So
Yeah.
think about it. When you go to a town, if you're visiting a city, whether it's vacation or you're going to an event, is there someone that you just want to try and meet and grab for coffee? Again, it's building relationships, it's building your business, it's that foundation and getting back to basics. So, Lisa, share with us what was Brent's event? Is this his inner circle that you and Eva went to?
This was an inner circle event, yes, Peggy. But I think to that really quickly events because Gracie, I think one thing that the YPN does also is events, right? And it's all about community, and that's something I had kind of had to learn the hard way a little bit at EXP because when I joined 9.5 years ago, I really wasn't interested in anything EXP had to offer. It was really just because I did this land and development space that really wasn't realty and it really wasn't commercial. So I had this lane of like, I'm just gonna, put my license here and not be bothered. And it really wasn't until the last few years when I realized, wow, what an amazing blessing that we have at EXP in all of this community. And really, once my eyes were open to that, I saw just so many different opportunities and bigger opportunities. And I could kick myself for the other 6+ years that I didn't leverage it, right? But hindsight's 2020, and we're moving forward. And I guess maybe makes me appreciate it even all the more. But yeah, so one of my goals in this year was really some coaching, which I've never really been a part of also. But beyond that is really because of putting myself out there, being more vulnerable and getting in community more often. And that is exactly what Scottsdale was. And to me, I just feel even more so than the nuggets and the training, because we could all go on Zooms, we could all hear amazing coaching stuff. It's, the power of proximity, which people say, just getting in those rooms. But a lot of it also is the energy. There's nothing like being around a group of productive agents that are sharing their secrets, telling what's hard, what's working, all of that, to really just come back feeling so invigorated and ready to tackle whatever. And I feel like I could run through a wall right now, right? You just get that extra charge that it's hard to have on an island. And we're in a virtual brokerage. Sometimes you can be on that island. So it's so important to put yourself in opportunities where you are in community and you are able to, kind of exchange energy and that. And that's what I would say. And Gracie, my goodness, you made an impact on me, girl. Like in that airport, talking to my daughter, she's on here with her boyfriend. I don't know, I was blown away by you, Gracie. I don't think in all my years, I've been in this industry a long, long time, 28 years, I never met someone that really wowed me the way you did. Just the way you held yourself, the composure, your conversation, your willingness to just take my daughter like a little kid, and you guys aren't that far apart in age, and just be like, come on, you've got this, girl. When you get your license, come to me. Like it really touched my heart, and I have thought about that conversation often.
Thank you so much. You're gonna make me cry.
Beautiful. That's absolutely beautiful. Wow. Well, I mean, you're an old soul. That is exactly what I'm feeling, is that you are an old soul. I'm going back over this. So if you guys joined a little bit late, let me just tell you about her. Got a license at 19. She was the first young associate, a broker in Alabama at, what was that, 21. You're 23 now. You've taken, with the help of your team and Andrew and everything else, but you're at the helm. You've taken this organization, YPM, from 7,000 members to 20,000 members. I mean, come on. And the thing that's blown me away is that you applied to Harvard because you needed rejection therapy. Oh my God. I can't wait to take your course on that because I'm still dealing with rejection sensitivity. I need a therapy session with this.
That's
So
beautiful.
isn't this really amazing?
That's great.
I'm like, nobody talks
I
about this.
needed rejection therapy.
I love it. And yes, Stephen, you can join. We'll let you know how to get into our, I don't know what the name's going to be, but whatever I'm co-chairing, we're putting it out there.
Okay.
So as we wrap this up, who wants, I want to open this up. We've got a few more minutes here. Let's tap into her. Who's got some questions?
Gracie, I was gonna say I'm almost 3 times your age and 10 times your real estate life. I just got blown away by the thing that you have done in such a short time. And more importantly, I need to thank Peggy. My gosh, you've been so faithful for 4 years. Feels like just a year. We've been here 6 o'clock in the morning. The sun is still not out most of the time, but it's just
Right.
good to be refreshed. And I don't know, I'm so inspired right now. I remind me of when I was a kid, right? We used to saw things. We didn't have, appliances, electrical thing. The saw that you go both way. You pull one way and you pull the other way. Both way you cut the wood. You know, kind of like our business is like that. Anything that you do used to be we just focus on getting seller, listing, buyer, this and that. But now, like Peggy was saying, if you see a sign down somewhere, just pick it up and give it to somebody. Sometimes I done it a few times. Just pick the sign up. Sometimes they got blown by the car and just bring to the office and drop off to them. I bet you increase the chances of attracting this agent at least by twice or 10 times. We are in the industry right now. I don't know about where you guys are in Southern California. It's been pretty challenging. I'll be honest with you. Competitive market is kind of like a standstill. People didn't know what to do. And I see a lot of agents come to my broker caravan. Some people came, they're just desperate to make a sale. Behind them, there's bill to pay. Sometimes they have issue with their kids or a marriage about to break apart. Some of them are just desperate. We just got to be the heart of people of our industry. If we can just do a little something, even just a phone call or just a little encouragement, just say, how are you doing? Just a simple thing like that, we can touch life. And along the process, like I say, the saw can go both ways. You pull one this way or pull the other way, get cut. And we are able to make some progress on our career. That's what I feel like sharing. Thank you.
Oh my God, thank you, Watson. And I love that you show up when it's dark out because when I was living in California, I know what that's like getting up and being on a Zoom call when it's still dark out. So, and I appreciate you showing up all the time.
Thank you.
Eva, I got to jump in. You're there. Eva
Hey,
was,
sorry. Sorry, I
that's
had to be
okay.
on off. I was listening the whole time. I was
That's
driving.
That's okay. Eva's still talking to me after I said, "Hey, I'm thinking about doing this and I'm going to do it with you if you and a few other people do it." But you just went to Brent's event. What did you give me some takeaways from that? Because that's a community that a lot of people would put on their vision board to be part of.
The inner circle really is a powerful group. I felt it more this time than ever before. I've been in it. This is my second year. And like what you're talking about with the networks that we're talking about here, you collaborate, you get to know people, you are able to achieve things. I think by working with other people you achieve more, or at least that's been my experience in my career, and that is like the pinnacle of that in my book. Brent is a king at that. His networking, bringing people together skills is, probably higher than anybody I've ever known known on that level, known that well. And it is one of the best experiences that I've had with getting in the right room. Like that's been our theme, right? Ever since we threw that party, it's kind of been my buzzword.
Yeah.
And I will say, I've said this to you privately. I have been with other brokerages and I have never felt the authenticity and the leveling up, the getting in the right room that I experience here.
I thank you. And it's easy, guys. And again, we're all here to help you. This Wake Up Wednesday started from frustration. into inspiration. Trust me, I didn't even know how to do a Zoom account. I mean, I will help you if there's something you want to do. We did a thing about events. If you want to do an event, if we can't be there, my God, we'll get on a Zoom with you and we'll help you. If there's an agent, oh, go ahead, Eva.
If I could just add, we are doing our Thursday call. Our mastermind
Yes.
is on hosting an event this
Cool.
Thursday. If anybody's
Won-
interested, just reach out to me.
That's wonderful. So this is a community, and I just love where it's going. I want to grow our network. Gracie and Andrew, thank you for letting me know that maybe I can just kind of slip in your group as a, what was one of the words? Heart. I
Young
can
at
come in
heart.
young at heart. I can come in from young at heart. I am going to look to you two, as I know Eva and Lisa will. We're going to look to you for help in growing our community because it is special. And if there's, does anybody have anything they just want to say real quick
I'll
before?
say, Peggy, really quick, just to invite you all, if you follow YP on social media, every Thursday we do Young Professional Learning Labs, which
Oh,
are like our huge. We bring in a lot of great speakers. Wendy's been on a couple times. We've had Gogo Bethke. We've got a Claude event coming up, and they're free and open to whomever, no matter if you're a part of YP or not. If you're looking to attract an agent, um, invite them too. They're great tools and resources for anybody in the real estate industry, not just EXP agents. So if you're
cool.
looking to follow us, EXP Young Professionals on Instagram and Facebook.
Great. All right, you guys, thank you so much. In the next couple weeks, Jean's going to be on, and we have got Bobby Creer coming on the end of the month. I'll put all that out there. But thank you. We went a little bit over, and Gracie, thank you for everything you do. Andrew, Carlene, everybody, thanks for showing up. I got to give a shout out to Annie. She helps me every single week. Love you guys. I'll see
Thank
you
you
Love
for
soon.
you,
having
Drew.
me.
Thanks,
All right.
everyone.
Bye bye.
Thanks,
Love you.
Andrew and
Bye.
Gracie. Bye.